Alright guys, what is going on guys? So far am I good? Seem good so far. Hopefully it stays that way. This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here live for my live review of this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Also, I will say this, I did not get any spoilers. But again, as I mentioned on Twitter before, I did not watch AEW Grand Slam tonight. I'll be watching that tomorrow. My fiance taped it for me, so I'll get to watch it after work tomorrow. I did get a text from my one friend saying there was a big surprise. Do not spoil it for me. Please do not spoil it. Just want to get that out there. Do not spoil Grand Slam. As again, I heard it was a surprise, and I'm doing my best to stay off of Twitter. Besides the fact that I did tweet the stream, I basically just tweeted, got off because I didn't want to see any tweets, so no spoilers. But hopefully, thank you Tyler also for saying you're not going to tell me. Excellent. But just wanted to say, anybody else who jumps on, do not spoil Grand Slam. I heard there was a big surprise. But anyways, this is take 2, as a couple hours ago before I watched the new Wednesday night shows I'm watching now for a while now. I'll still watch Dynamite, of course. But anyways, get on track here. I tried doing my Raw review earlier before I watched both the Connors and Survivor. Unfortunately, though, my internet was acting weird a couple hours ago. I don't know why, but so far it seems to be hanging in pretty strong. So hopefully it hangs in there pretty good. But anyways, we are live to talk about this past week's episode of Monday Night Raw, the September 19th, 2022 edition of Raw that took place in San Jose, California, home of the leader of Damage Control, Bayley. Here's the thing. As I mentioned earlier before my stream crapped out on me, I waited until tonight to review Raw because I needed to refresh myself a little bit because, like I said, I didn't really pay the best attention to Raw this week. And not because I didn't like it. I mean, for what I saw some storyline progressing. I saw some stuff that was I thought this episode of Raw was a little bit better than we've gotten recently. So it wasn't amazing, but it was better. We got another match set up for Extreme Rules. I'm sorry, we had two, basically, one official, one a challenge issued out at the end of the show. I felt we had a little more storytelling progressing, I felt, in my opinion. So I say it was a better show than what we've gotten for the past couple weeks. It was from decent to good, I would say. I almost gave it a B-, but I did really enjoy that match with Lashley and Rollins for the U.S. title. That I did bump my grade up a little bit higher because of that match. But yeah, I didn't pay the best attention to Raw this past week because while I was watching Raw, I was fidgeting around with some old video games I haven't played for a while. Of course, again, because in 1 hour and 13 minutes currently at this time, it will be my birthday. And most of you know, well, I didn't get to do it last year because I was out of town visiting my sister on my birthday last year. But I do like to play a special video, an old game for the heck of it, as a little birthday treat to the channel. Of course, I didn't do last year, so I'm going to do 2 this year. I don't think I'll be able to do the second one tonight, but I did do one, which was the Game of Life, the 1998 PC version, crap, I lost the train of thought. I did the classic board 2 years ago. So last night I did the enhanced board, and I did upload it earlier today. Make sure to check it out if you would like to see a Game of Life. and see if I'm good at life or not, which I'm a lot better at life in general from a few years ago, but yeah, and I'm getting ready to turn the age of 29. Oh God, I really don't want to be 30 next year, guys. I really don't want to be 30. But anyways, enough of that. But let's roll in, though, and talk about Raw, because I do want to get to bed, but I have a little more time than I did if I would have done it a couple hours ago. But again, I overall thought Raw was a little bit better than what it's been the past couple weeks. We have a little bit more of a direction going into Extreme Rules. A lot of things felt like it had more of a purpose to it, so I guess why I gave it a little bit of a higher grade than I've given it the past couple of weeks. We do have Tyler, though, in the live chat, who's saying hi again. That main event was bad. I think they may not have... Well, I'll explain, of course, at the end, unless it gets brought up like it did during the stream that crapped out on me. I'll explain why, even though I do agree that they should not have done the women in the main event, but I'll explain why I think they did that. Let me see here. They're going to have a stupid I Quit match with Bayley and Bianca at Extreme Rules. Did they announce it officially being I Quit? Because I know because they were supposed to have an I Quit match at Money in the Bank last year before Bayley got hurt. But I don't know if they'll do I Quit since they just did Charlotte and Ronda I Quit recently. So I'm not sure if they will do it or not. He's keeping a secret about AEW. Thank you. Why is AJ not in the main event with Roman Reigns? I do agree with that. I mean, other than the fact that I can see kind of why, because AJ's not really won many pay-per-view matches at all this year, which sucks. But I still do agree that should be a feud while Roman is champion. We should do. I don't know why we wouldn't do AJ Styles and Roman Reigns, especially with Triple H in charge. But no, instead we're getting Roman Reigns and Logan Paul at Crown Jewel, which again still disgusts me completely. We did see AJ on the show. First time in a while we've seen him. Maybe since he teamed up with Ziggler to take on the Judgment Day at the Raw in Pittsburgh I went to. That opened up the show. Fire Logan Paul. I wouldn't say fire him, but one, cast him correctly. Even when we saw his, we saw highlights from his Impulsive show, or whatever the heck it's called, he came across as a douche. I'm sorry, he is a freaking heel. And he also should not be getting a world title match in just his second singles match. And third match overall ever in his life. So yes, I still think it's stupid. Todd gave the show a C-. He's typical split the titles. Happy birthday, thank you. Fire Horseface. Who do you rather want fired, Logan Paul or Ronda Rousey? He wants Charlotte to come back, and he thinks I Quit matches are stupid. I actually do like I Quit matches, but it's okay. So yeah, let's get rolling though and start talking about some things, of course, that will go on as the rest of the night goes on. So we actually opened up the show with the best match of the night, which was Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins for the United States Championship. I don't know if we've ever gotten this match one-on-one. I feel like we may have, because I do remember in the beginning of 2019, I think it was, even though he ended up feuding more so with Finn Balor going to WrestleMania 35, I feel like Lashley and Rollins did have like a brief little Raw feud for like 2 weeks or so like that. So they may have faced off then, but either way, this would be the first time that it was babyface Lashley versus heel Seth Rollins. And I thought this was a great match. Of course, my favorite part of the match that everybody talks about for sure, this match, is the part where Seth Rollins went for the curb stomp. But I've never seen this before. Bobby Lashley blocked it by posting his hand hard on his hands. He basically stood as firm on the ground with his hands on the ground like, you ain't stomping me, bitch. And, but yeah, some very great maneuvers. And of course, Lashley did, I love, because Rollins does this almost every match he has with Roman anymore. But, Rollins did counter a spear from Lashley into a pedigree. But it was not enough, though, to put away Lashley. And the Phoenix Splash didn't hurt either. But then towards the end of the match, though, it looks like Lashley kicked out, and then Sean Bennett was distracted, and Seth Rollins then kicks Lashley, does a low blow when the ref was not working. But in the midst of that, Matt Riddle came down. But he came running down, but he stopped. And he stared down Seth. He turned away for 1 second, turned back around, and Bobby Lashley hit the spear to retain the U.S. title. So, obviously, Matt Riddle's trying to get in the head of Seth Rollins and, not just, beat him up and cause DQs, but by distracting him, having to lose his matches until he gets his rematch that he wants against Seth. Which we did get it later on, announced what's going to be Extreme Rules. But it's a different stipulation. Even though I feel like either in the live chat or one of my friends mentioned this idea. And I'm like, that's not too bad, but I still wanted this match to be Extreme Rules or Falls Count Anywhere. What we got, though, I think is a good idea. Actually, I think it might have been Robbie. Who pitched this idea, but we'll get back to that in a second. Damage Control came out on a Damage Control branded golf cart, by the way. They get into the mic, and Bayley doesn't appreciate the booze and mocks the local sports club, even though we're in her hometown. Io says they're in control now and speaks something in Japanese, and Dakota talks lengths about Bayley being Bianca and says she should just pack it up and go home. Out goes the three-woman team of Bianca, Alexa, and Asuka. Bianca tells them off for running their mouths and saying now they'll have to teach them some respect. Bayley, though, chastises Bianca for a lack of patience and says she needs to see the long game in the big picture like she does. And they're not fighting until she says so. But then she runs down Alexa and Asuka as mere accessories, and then Alexa threatens violence. They bigger back and forth, and then Bliss challenges Bayley to a match later on in the show, and threatens to bite her. And the heels get shoved to the floor, and that's basically it. And that does said, we get announced that later on in the show, which ended up being the main event. I'll talk about that at the end. We're going to be getting Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. I hear that, and I just immediately think back to their 2017 feud. Kendo stick on a pole. That is all I will say. Kendo stick on a pole. And we've come such a long way since that. Trust me, we have. And also to mention, because I did see a couple weeks ago on YouTube, they had uploaded, they had re-uploaded Bayley, This Is Your Life. Do you guys know, to this day, I have still never seen that segment. Because I didn't get to watch Raw that night, but I kept hearing it was that bad. And people were, I literally, it's one of the only segments that I've never, budged and saw, okay, I gotta see how bad it was. And I still have not budged. But yeah, we're getting that in the main event. Not kendo stick on a pole, but, I still definitely think, that Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins should have main evented the show, but, wasn't the case. Afterwards, though, we do get a match that also could have possibly main evented the show, even though we just got on Raw 2 weeks ago. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory. I've seen Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins a little too much. Anyways, but Austin Theory had attacked Kevin Owens before the bell and lays him out. Smart, since he lost him 2 weeks ago. And they had another good match. Again, these two have some pretty strong chemistry, I will say. Of course, the only difference this time was Johnny Gargano, though, came out of ringside. And to distract Austin Theory, he took the Money to Make briefcase. And off the distraction, Owens hits a cannonball senton and then gets the victory by pinning Theory after hitting the Papa Powerbomb. Afterwards, though, Johnny gets into the ring, gives the briefcase back to Austin by dropping it right on his groin. And it hurt. Ouch. That's a shame. That's a really damn shame. Anyways, we didn't get a recap of last week with Judgment Day offering Matt Riddle a spot in their faction, but he rejects it, and therefore he fought Finn Balor and he lost. So there is kind of a little bit of even though there's a story with Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle going, they still kind of have something else for Matt Riddle to do, just so you know, just make it a little more interesting with this small feud with the Judgment Day. So anyways, Riddle's being interviewed, and he says interfering in our opening contest was just a little taste of what he has for Seth, and he's going to make him pay. He wants to help Rey Mysterio also get sweet vengeance tonight, and says Judgment Day dressed like goth kids from South Park. So they're going to be having a tag match later, Rey Mysterio and Matt Riddle taking on Finn Balor and Damian Priest of the Judgment Day. And then we had the Brawling Brutes. Well, just Ridge Holland and Butch. Pete Dunne, hopefully soon. He's got the look back, hopefully, and he's got the wrestling back. Hopefully we get that name back, though. But they came out, even though they're on SmackDown, but they're here on Raw because they're the new number one contenders for the Undisputed Tag Titles. They get here, they basically say they're going to win the tag titles by smashing the Usos, and they'll run the tag team division. But then the Street Profits came out, and they congratulated the Brutes, introduced themselves, but they said they may have beaten a bunch of other teams, they've never beaten them. And it leads to a match, fresh, solid, but a good way to kind of, give a little more of a rub to the Brawling Brutes before the tag match on Friday on SmackDown. And the Brawling Brutes get the victory. So, nice, definitely. Again, even though the name's not back, definitely giving Pete Dunne his look back, and he's wrestling a lot more like how he was before, and not like a caged animal, or whatever the heck they were calling him, is definitely helping the Brawling Brutes. And I'm still a little hesitant because they're being booked like baby faces right now, but I'm only wondering if they're doing that because of Sheamus teasing a rematch with Gunther. So I don't know again if they're officially faces or not, but if they are, of course, I will at some point have do a turn alert for them. I'm still waiting to see what happens once they get away from Imperium. We didn't get a recap of Edge giving Dominic a little bit of a beating last week. Before he got beaten down and his knee got destroyed afterwards. So it might have been a way to write off Edge. And then we see Rey Mysterio being interviewed. He says if he knew how resentful Dominic was, maybe he could have saved him from Judgment Day. And Edge may be sidelined for now, but he can't be held down for long, and he just hopes his son will find his way back to his family. And then Riddle rolls up and asks him if he's ready to drop the hammer of justice on Judgment Day. And they basically, walk off together. Then we have Johnny Gargano running into the Alpha Academy. He tries to brush past them, but they accost him over costing their close friend, Austin Theory. Theory has something he'll never have, strength in numbers, because when you mess with Theory, you mess with the Academy. But then up comes Kevin Owens, who went over Johnny Gargano in a promo last week. And it says, actually, since Gargano had his back earlier, they have a problem with him too. Gable then proposes a tag team match next week, and Owens says he loves being Chad in his home country, and next week's show is in Edmonton. So they're back in Owens' country. And it will be Johnny Gargano and Kevin Owens. Strange pairing, but cool. I'm sure someday we will see those two go off in a one-on-one match, which will be awesome. Taking on the Alpha Academy. And they'll be saying, sheesh! Shoosh, please! But shoosh, please! We gotta move on, though. Keep going on. Gabe, of course, panics and tries to move it to the next week, but Owens isn't having it, and the match is on. Of course. And then we have the Judgment Day come out and get on the microphone. Rhea says they took everyone in front of them out last week and proved once again that they run Monday Night Raw. And now with Dom at their side, no one will stop them, especially not his old man. Finn says how Dom is a brave man. Damian says he loves him and he no longer walks in the shadow and is now willing to fight his own battles. And then Dom, of course, tries to get on the mic, but the crowd is just booing the crap out of him. He's got the good heat going. And he has trouble getting started, but says he couldn't be prouder to be standing with his new family, his real family, the Judgment Day. Finn asks one of the ringside photographers to take a family photo, which they do. Then out comes Matt Riddle and Rey Mysterio, and we have the match. You know, it was another solid match, based off, of course, Dominic. Dominic, though, gets into the head of Rey again, offering his own father his chin for his father to take a shot, but then Rey conflicted briefly, but drops the chair that he had, because, of course, Dominic's trying to manipulate him because Rey, he was saying he'll never put his hands on his own son. At some point, Rey, though, you will. You guys will have the match, I'm pretty sure, in some ways. But, of course, that did help Finn to take him out with a forearm. And then Priest hit the choke slam. And then Balor off the top rope, hit the coup de grace. And Judgment Day get another victory. I'm liking it. I'm liking that. Again, in recent weeks, again, especially for Clash of the Castle, I still thought Judgment Day was going to be short-lived. And they're going to get rid of it quickly with Triple H taking over. But nope. They're trying to, actually make something out of this. I mean, it's a shame that they don't have any titles or anything to put on them right now, which would be nice. I mean, if Damage Control wasn't back, I would say definitely put the women's title on Rhea. But yeah, I do like that they're still, because again, I even keep saying this, even though it was randomly thrown together, there is still so much potential in a stable with Rhea, Finn, and Damian. But it sounds like they're still, trying to do something with it. And again, I'm totally cool with it. We didn't have Miz and Ciampa backstage, getting ready to come out for Miz TV. Before that, though, we see Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle brawling again backstage as referees tell them to try to pull apart. And then as they're trying to pull apart, Rollins like, enough, name the time, name the place, and I'll give you the rematch. Matt Riddle, at Extreme Rules, challenges Seth Rollins to a fight pit match. And I think it was Robbie who suggested it last week in one of my streams in the live chat. I think he was the one who suggested a fight pit. Honestly, I'll take it. Again, I wanted some more like, Falls Count Anywhere or Extreme Rules, which I think that's more worth Extreme Rules than Ronda versus Liv. I'm definitely more intrigued, by Rollins and Riddle, but a fight pit could still be good. We'll see how it goes. Like having that instead of a steel cage, fine. I didn't want just a natural steel cage match. Again, Hell in a Cell I would have taken for this, but fight pit, I'm good at fight pit. So we'll see how that match goes, but I'm looking forward to it. We didn't have Miz TV. Miz says he's a victim of a deranged madman. It was fine as long as Dexter Lumis was just interfering with his work. But invading his home is too far. He's sick of looking over his shoulder and relates a story about his daughter Madison's third birthday party and how he punched a minion because he thought Dexter might be in the skull. He's going crazy, and all people say is, what did he do? But the question should be, why me? And it's true, we're still wondering, why Miz? So he wants Dexter to come out here, man to man, face to face. But as he's calling out Dexter, there's a Bowie knife cutting through the mat, cutting a hole in the ring. Excuse me. And then they realize he's there, and then Dexter had popped out of the hole, and then basically grabs the Miz, trying to pull him under the ring, but then Ciampa manages to save him before Dexter starts pulling Ciampa down. But of course they pop out of it, and then they go running. Yeah, I'm starting to feel the same way about this. Again, this needs to get to the next part of the story. Because that's 3 weeks in a row now, Lumis has gotten this close to the Miz. And it's he's not getting any closer, it feels like. So we still don't know yet what he's up to, why he's doing this. Like, again, I think if they would just get this feud to the next gear of the story, we'd be good. But again, they're taking too long to kind of progress to the story. So I don't know. I don't know when they're going to take things forward, but hopefully they do soon. Anyways, we did have Judgment Day backstage. Time to celebrate, but Dom makes he has to check on his dad before saying, "Just kidding, let's go celebrate," because he has a new mommy now. Damian says he'll kick Riddle's ass one more time next week, and they walk off to go party. So we're going to get Matt Riddle and Damian Priest next week. Finn though stops them around the corner and asks to handle this himself. And he sees no one else but AJ Styles. Again, it's been about a month, almost a month since he's last seen AJ. He asks AJ if he's faded. And Styles says they haven't spoken because Balor turned his back on him and joined Judgment Day. Finn says he never turned his back on AJ and asks if this has been one moment he hasn't had his back. Styles admits he's right, but says he wants no part of Judgment Day. But Finn plays the "you know me" card and says he was looking for a friend, but AJ seems to be looking for a fight. They get face to face, then Finn backs off with a hug before saying the offer still stands, throwing up the "too sweet" and leaving. So it gets a tease for AJ Styles joining the Judgment Day. I don't want to see AJ go back to being a heel. It's too soon. I mean, yes, he's lost pretty much all of his pay-per-view matches as a heel, as a babyface, which is a little sad. But yeah, I agree with Tyler said earlier. They should have, at some point before Roman's title reign ends, they need to have a Roman Reigns and AJ Styles match. Is that we have not had that match one-on-one since 2016. And that is when AJ first came in. And he was still, being groomed for the show. Because it was right before he turned heel that they had the feud. But, unfortunately that happened. And then we had the main event, Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. Match was meh. But Bayley does win eventually after some distractions. Bayley went to the Rose Plant. Afterwards, though, they start beating down on Alexa. They fend off and a save from Asuka. Then Bianca came out, but the numbers game just overwhelmed her. And then Bayley lays her out with an elbow and hits the Rose Plant. And then challenges Bianca to a title match at Extreme Rules, which I'm sure Bianca's going to accept. She's like, "Well, you won the match. Let's go." Now, again, I know a lot of people are questioning why would they do this match in the main event, and I feel the same way too. I personally think they only did it because, of course, the big announcement from this past week also was that War Games is definitely happening at Survivor Series this year. And I am so excited for that. And I've been saying since SummerSlam, when Damage Control first formed on the main roster, this build, even though I still wish it was Sasha and Naomi instead of Alexa and Asuka, I keep saying this whole Damage Control storyline feels like it should be another a War Games feud. Now, I don't know if this is going to Survivor Series. They're going to do 4-on-4, 3 teams of 3, or 2 teams of 5. I'm not sure which direction they're going to go with it. But I still think this Damage Control feud with what's going on with them right now is going to lead to lead to a War Games match. Now, I still personally, because of course the history of how she was written off TV, I still want Becky Lynch to be in that War Games match. So I'm hoping she's back before you. If not, because now we have Raquel Gonzalez and we've teased Shotzi Blackheart also joining them. We'll also having some issues with Damage Control, so they could be joining them if they do 5-on-5. I just don't know who else will join Damage Control. I read a rumor somewhere, maybe Indy Hartwell. Meh. Maybe someone like Toxic Attraction or something, maybe? I don't know. But yes, I'm definitely happy that we're not getting Raw versus SmackDown. We're actually going to be getting War Games matches. And if they still want to, you can still do a 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. But just don't make it all brand supremacy. That's all I'm asking, of course, from Survivor Series. But yeah, that's Raw. I gave it a B. Like I said, I think Raw was better because a lot more things had a purpose to it. There really wasn't much filler at all. Like I said, the only really gripe I really have about it is, again, they gotta get somewhere further, I feel like, with The Miz and Dexter Lumis. Because right now, I just feel like it's still staying in the same spot. But we'll see. Everything else I thought was great. Match of the night, no doubt about it, was Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins, which that or Owens in theory should have made a better show, like I said. I think they did the stuff with Alexa and Bayley last, thank God no kendo stick on a pole, is to start, teasing War Games, I think. In my opinion. Yeah, let's check the live chat before we get off the air here. Now I'm going to go just take a shower and just relax and soak in my new old age at midnight. Anyways. But, Tyler says, fire both Logan and Horseface Rousey. Put Asuka, Alexa, Miz, and AJ on SmackDown. I do Alexa and Bayley don't have any chemistry at all. That is true. Charlotte and Asuka have great chemistry. Yes, I agree that's the case. You think Sasha's overrated? Interesting there, but it's okay. Liv is nerdy and Joker's champion. Why do I always think of the name Butch? I think of the black cat from Tom and Jerry. That's what I think of too. Mr. Butch. One of Tom's biggest rival alley cats, for sure. Great show, of course. I hope that Bray comes back to WWE. Maybe we could get on Friday, because there's that White Rabbit thing that's been going on. And I think, I'm thinking it's got to be Bray. It's got to be Bray. And, of course, there's that QR code they had on Raw this week where you scanned it, it came up for $9.23. Now, there's some people who think it could be Karrion Kross. Because Kross, I guess, had was the White Rabbit or something like that in Lucha Underground, I think it was. My thing, though, is they just brought Kross back. And he's in the midst of a feud already with Drew McIntyre. Why would you change his gimmick in the middle of it and have vignettes for it? So don't get my hopes up. I'm kind of hoping it is Bray. We'll see though. We've got Game Over. What's up? His first time here. He agrees 100%. Sasha is overrated. A self-entitled millennial who expects everything to be given to her. And when it isn't, she takes her ball and goes home. Okay, respected opinion there. And talking to Sasha as a female Randy Orton. Okay. Thank you guys for your thoughts, of course, as always, guys. Again, well-respected opinions. But I'm going to check out here. Like I said, I'm probably not going to... I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything tomorrow. But I still, of course, will have to catch up with Grand Slam tomorrow. Again, I'm thinking about, because I think Jericho and Claudio's match is on Friday on Rampage. I'm not 100% sure. If that match is on Friday, I will probably watch Rampage before I do review Dynamite's Grand Slam. If not, I'll just do Dynamite's Grand Slam and SmackDown. Of course, again, I do have, another, the second choice I had for my birthday video gameplay is actually an old game that I kind of do want to play the full game. But because there's going to be, I think 20 or 21 parts to it, I think it is, I don't want to do I don't want to make it like a committed project now, but to at least start it, kind of have to be one of the things where it's when I feel like coming back to it, I'll come back to it. Because, again, now that, of course, I've finished, everything, all the sitcom stuff I was doing and the Harry Potter Let's Play, I'm kind of itching to play some other games. And even though I said before I don't want to make every game I play a project, there's some games I'm kind of itching to play. So I will probably start those very soon. Because next week also I'm actually taking some time off from work. So I will have some extra time to, start some things up. But of course I do have some other things I want to take off during, I want to take care of during that week also. So we'll see how it goes. But other than that, yep, that's Raw. That's Raw. I gave it a B. I'm going to go, of course, shave and just relax. Maybe play some Doom or something. I don't know. We'll see. but bring in the next year of my life on a positive note. Because 28 was a great year for me, I would say. Got to travel out of town for work back in January to Vegas. I got engaged in May. My wedding's next July. Still have a lot to do, but, you know, it'll all cap off during the age 29 year. A lot's going to be happening for me at 29. And then I turn 30 next year. Dang it! I'm going to get so freaking old. I had a friend today tell me, woohoo, you're halfway to 60. I'm like, why would you say that? Like, they're not helping me. I'm already fretting being that old, but, you know, but, yeah, I will, again, the first birthday special I did was my Game of Life enhanced board version Let's Play. Check that out, of course, if you guys would like. And again, hopefully you guys do enjoy the stuff that is to come for this channel currently. So guys, once again, I gave Raw a B for this week. I'll probably review both Grand Slam and hopefully SmackDown on Friday. If not, I'll try to do it early Saturday, because I am having a game night Saturday night. So I do have people coming over. So I don't think we'll be able to do anything in the afternoon or the evening on Saturday. But, of course, we will see. So guys, once again, guys, that's our thoughts on Raw this week. What are your guys' thoughts on Raw? Make sure you guys leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video, subscribe for more content on my channel, and follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirboy93. So guys, excuse me, I just burped. I'll check it out. I'll catch you all later. Thank goodness this stream lasted. It was much better internet connection than the last time. So thank God. We're good. Alright guys, I'm checking out. I'll see you guys all later. Have a great rest of your night. I'm about to snap. Okay. Look at me. I'm not even 29 yet, but I'm already losing my mind. Okay. Relax. Take a deep breath. Do a usual outro. I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys all later. Have a great rest of your night. See you guys in year 29 of my life. Peace out, everybody.